Hey guys, what the heck is going on? Sam Cox here with Team Broplier and coming to you guys today with match number 3 of the 2021 YUGI-TUBER Go Format Championship. This is match number 3, like I said, so if you're watching this and you haven't seen the rest of it, there are 2 other matches. I highly advise you guys check it out. It's been a pretty crazy tournament so far, and I'm looking forward to another really good match. We have 2 awesome players on this one, and on the top right we have Shahrukh, aka the Bando, and then on the bottom right in the red we have, ironically, blue version, which is Paul Hobbs. And given everything that I've seen in the group chat, because we have a group chat with me and all these guys that are in this tournament, I'm thinking that this game is going to be pretty crazy, but we will see. I've been excited to finally get back and kind of commentate some stuff. I've been super busy on the road and stuff, and it's been a little while since all these matches have been played, and I don't really think that I remember anything that went on, so I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So over here, Paul is playing Monarchs with Chaos. You can kind of tell with the BLS and the Zabord. He's playing Apprentice Magician, Tomato, Donzalug, Kaiku, Sakuratsu. From what I can tell off the top of my head, it's looking like he is doing some Chaos Monarch build. Tomato obviously can kind of float into the Apprentice Magician and the Donzalug. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. I don't see anything right offhand that Shahrukh is playing that is anything crazy out of the ordinary. I mean, he's got Dekoichi, Suk, Book, Knock, and then Duo. It's kind of pretty standard stable cards for what's looking to be like a Chaos deck. Okay, so Dark Mimic level 1. This, most of the time, is a kind of a giveaway in the fact that they are probably playing something along the lines of like Chaos Control, because Dark Mimic level 1 is a pretty cool card in the fact that it is a level 1 flip. Does the same thing technically that Dekoichi does most of the time, and it is a dark. So people will use things like Metamorphosis on this card. So, and you can go in 1,000 Eyes Restrict. Now Dekoichi is bigger attack, but like I said, Dark Mimic is level 1. So it's just kind of there's perks of having, you know, Dekoichi versus Dark Mimic. This is a good thing that I like about Apprentice Magician is the fact that if you knock it, the other copies in the deck are safe. So yeah, Apprentice Magician, I've said before in other videos, but this card is probably in the top, like, I'd say 10, maybe 15 cards in GOAT format that are underrated. Like, I think Apprentice Magician is absolutely awesome for the amount of stuff that I can do. And Apprentice Magician is one of those cards that not only is it great because it's a dark and a spellcaster and that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it just combos well with so many cards that are already good in this format. So it kind of complements a lot of different strategies, whether you're playing things like Monarchs, which obviously he is, or if you're playing things like Magician of Faith and that kind of stuff. It's really good. Again, it goes with Tomato. I'm a huge fan of Apprentice Magician for sure, for a lot of different reasons. This card's been seeing a ton of play in stuff like Strike Ninja and things like Monarchs and stuff here recently. People have actually even been just playing this in Chaos in general, because this can search the Magician of Faith, which is a light, and then that'll automatically kind of give you lights and darks in your grave. So I'm sorry, yeah, on the field and in grave, I guess you would say. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool combo card. I like Apprentice Magician all around, and y'all kind of shout about that card now. But okay, attacked into Dekoichi, drew 1, and drew into Heavy Storm. What do we got back here? Sakuratsu. So the heavy will do good against the Sakuratsu, but he has set a Faith, or not a Faith, a Book of Moon. What am I talking about? And kind of see how that goes. He set another one back here, and it's going to make the Heavy Storm just a little bit better. Draws into a Faith, and he sets the Mimic, which is what I would do if I'm being completely honest. Like, I've talked about it many times on this channel, but if you have Faith in your hand and you have something else that you can set that will allow you to try to bait out your opponent's things like Knock, Exiled Force, you know, stuff like that, then try to set those cards before you set Faith, because flipping over a Faith mid to late game is super detrimental to your opponent actually even having a chance of kind of coming back. So he's got Tomato and he's got Kaiku. He's got Book of Moon, so he's going to go -1 either way. He's going to have to block the attack. Maybe it depends on which one he attacks with first. He could attack with Kaiku first. Okay, no, he's going to go with Tomato. He's going to draw, and then he's going to go neg1 no matter what, because he's going to either use the Book of Moon, or he's going to not neg1. I don't know what I'm talking about. For some reason, I was thinking this was Donzalug. He's going to, I mean, it's going to hurt him pretty bad either way. I would probably at this point maybe just, man, it's kind of hard. I would maybe just take the 2 out of the grave, because he has Mirror Force, and if he keeps putting pressure on with both of these cards, then he could probably destroy him with the Mirror Force. I may or may not just go ahead and take that 2 out of the grave, but who knows? Yeah, I think that's what he's going to go ahead and do. There wouldn't have been like a right or wrong move right there at this moment. I think that maybe, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns down the line, one of those moves might be better or worse for him. But I don't think that there was like necessarily a wrong move right then and there. Also, he has Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi is bigger than Kaiku's defense. From the looks of Paul's deck, it's looking like Tsukiyomi may or may not be a problematic card for him. If he's playing things like Kaiku and Zaborg and maybe other Monarchs, or multiple copies of Kaiku, Tsukiyomi just wrecks that stuff. It was a really good move right there doing Tsukiyomi, because if he does destroy it with Sakuratsu or something, that just puts another dark into his grave anyway. So I wouldn't say that that was a bad move at all. It's probably just the best thing that he could do. And setting the Mirror Force, pass. If you flip the Kaiku and attack with both, then you're susceptible to Mirror Force. You're also susceptible to Torrential, if I'm being honest with you. But he doesn't have Torrential. But this, okay, that's what I was going to say, is if your opponent doesn't activate Torrential and then you have a floater, or I'm sorry, just a recruiter, same thing most times, that allow you to, that is pretty good in defense anyway, just turn it to defense, because you don't want to get hit by Mirror Force. But I feel like I play around Torrential almost more than I play around Mirror Force a lot of times. Like if I have Kaiku face down like he did, and then he has Tomato, it really kind of puts him in a hard position, because he's like, man, I don't want Kaiku to be in face down defense, because it only has 700 defense, and literally almost anything can run over it. But if you flip him, then you could go a neg1 on the Torrential. It's kind of a weird position, but Tsukiyomi kind of put him in that position. So what's he got in the grave now? He's just got 1 dark. And what's he got in the grave over here? They both just got 1 dark. Okay, cool. And then Paul is going to set Sangan, which I think is always a boss move, because, we play things like Mind Control, Exile Force, stuff like that. And then people are going to just waste a card on Sangan pretty much. He drew a Sork, which is probably not the best card he could have drawn, considering that he doesn't even have a light. That Kaiku hit really hasn't hurt him that much right now, if I'm being completely honest, because he hasn't even had a light hit the grave anyway. So I would say that not wasting the Book of Moon on the Kaiku is probably going to pay off for him for the time being. Like I said, at that time, there wasn't really a right or a wrong choice when it comes down to like choosing what he was going to do about that. But it did kind of affect the game state a little bit later. So, and now is the later that I was talking about. So, again, it's like, what do you do right here? Because this is something that he doesn't want to go off. So it's like, do you summon the BLS, because you can now, and then risk, again, hitting the Torrential, because, it's 3 for 1, but Sangan will kind of even it out a little bit. I wouldn't mind maybe trying to summon the BLS, even if my opponent had Torrential, because I have Sangan on my side of the field and it wouldn't hurt as much. But here's where Paul misplayed, if I'm being honest with you. If he's going to summon the BLS, don't flip over Sangan first and reveal that you have it, because let's say that his opponent did have Torrential. Let's say that this was Torrential. Then he may have not activated it at that point. So I would probably keep your face down monster hidden until you summon the BLS. There was really no real reason to flip over Sangan right here, if I'm being honest, before he summoned the BLS. It's just my opinion. But Mirror Force is in the grave, so he now knows that it's free game. Even if he has Sakuratsu, it's still just going to be a 1 for 1. He does have Book of Moon, so it's a -1 for him. It's looking a little bit rough for Sharuk right now, but you never know. This is go for, man. It could top deck something just really cool. I like the fact that he's playing Old Vindictive, which again probably wouldn't have set due to the fact that Sharuk, aka the Bando, hasn't seen Torrential yet. So I might have not done that. Maybe some people just don't play around certain cards as much as other people do. In which part of it may be the fact that, like I said, I feel like I play around Torrential a ton. So it's just kind of, some people don't necessarily. All right, we're going to get on to, okay, what are they doing right? Okay, at the beginning he said, is this a match or a duel? He said match. Okay, so it looks like they're going to be offering a rematch because he didn't do 2 out of 3. So, okay, cool. I guess we'll sit here for a second and see what's going on. All right, y'all, here we are on to game number 2, and we have Strike Ninja. So that's kind of what I was wondering, is if he had this in the deck, because like I said, this has been super effective with things like Apprentice Magician. So Donzalug, Skilled White. Yeah, see, this is really weird. Like I said earlier, this is like an interesting deck. I don't really know what he's doing. This looks like a deck that almost has like too many different strategies in it. I don't know. This is weird. Do you rip the Donzalug? I think so. I don't think the other ones are too big of a threat yet, if I'm being honest with you. But the Donzalug would force you to kind of go -1. You know what? Maybe not. He might be able to let him keep the Donzalug in his hand because the Raigeki break will allow him to get a dark into the grave. Yeah. Sharu is going to have to definitely be a little bit conservative on how he plays this out, because he has 2 cards into his hand and on the field that are going to make him pitch stuff. So later on into this, he's going to be 2 cards down just due to the fact that he has Vortex and Raigeki break. Okay. It's very interesting that he pitched the Thunder Dragon instead of like a Sork, seeing that he doesn't know where his next dark monster is going to come from. Not saying that that was the 100% wrong move, because obviously Thunder Dragons are great to pitch off of things like Raigeki break, but you just never know. I'd say Faith, right? No, actually he has no spells. I don't want to say that this Trap Dust Shoot wasn't very effective, but I don't think it was insanely effective. If he returns to Thunder Dragon, then cool. If he returns to Sork, he's still going to have one, and Sork is arguably cloggy right now. I would say Faith is probably the best one, just because you never know. He could top deck something really awesome next turn. But it's not looking like he can do anything. Like, literally, there's nothing he could do except for set a Lightning Vortex or fail to find on the Thunder Dragon. What do you do right here? Just, normal summon, Strike Ninja, attack. What's he got over here? Sakuratsu, set the book. He's just going all in. He knows. He's seen his hand. He's like, okay, his hand's not crazy, so I can afford to set 2 cards, especially since I know that he doesn't have Thunder Dragon, and he doesn't really have a way to kind of out my back row and my Strike Ninja. So Trap Dust Shoot, the knowledge that you get from this card is insane sometimes, if I'm being honest with you. It's almost more helpful than actually the card itself. Here we go. All right, so he doesn't have enough Dark Monsters in the grave to banish. So that was probably the best thing. Oh, well, it allowed him to get a Dark Monster out into the grave, I guess, if anything. Depending on how effectively he uses this duo, it could win him the game because now that he does have lights and darks, Paul is playing Kaiku, so we don't know how that's going to end up. And he's Shahrukh sitting here pretty much just defenseless almost at this point. He's still going to have lights and darks after this Sork gets Sakuratsu'd. Man, talk about low resource, high life point. That's sometimes it happens like that, man. Okay, so he did not attack. It's very interesting. Sorry, I got a text. I forgot what I was doing here for a second. Okay, so Old Vindictive, flipping. It's not like a whole lot was happening here. Old Vindictive is flipping, and he's gonna hit a Sork. I feel like if I were, okay, very nice, very nice. If I were Shahrukh, I may have attacked with the Sork because he kind of got a +1 up on him. Okay, there's a heavy, so that's cool. He does have Book, which will flip down the Old Vindictive. Okay. I'm thinking maybe the heavy first. Okay, flipping down the Strike Ninja. Okay. Okay, he does have back row protection to protect the Strike Ninja, so there's that. And he does have 2 Dark Monsters in grave now, so it's very interesting. It's not looking very good for Shahrukh, if I'm being honest with you guys. I mean, obviously, you can tell. Torrential, okay. Given how Paul was playing last game, Torrential might hurt him. And he's not going to do anything except for just sit there and wait for him to try to do something about his Strike Ninja so that he can banish 2 and make him go -1. That's pretty much what's happening. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Uses effect, or do you just let it flip down? That's the question. I'm pretty sure I would just probably let it flip down because, again, he has like a ton of back row protection. Yeah. He has a duo set. He's had the duo set for a while. Trapdushi. Man, that's the bad thing about playing Trapdushi sometimes. Oh, damn. I'm thinking that was probably the best time that he could have activated duo, if I'm being honest. He could summon something, man, and get hurt by Torrential. Literally any of these monsters he could flip up. Torrential. Yeah. Kind of forced it. He kind of still went 1 for 1 on that, though. And he's left with no Dark Maul. I guess Spirit Reaper. Okay. Now he's got Torrential, Mirror Force, and Sakuratsu. No, he doesn't have Torrential. Okay. Take backs. We're doing take backs, y'all. The snatch would be a really good idea right here since he can't do anything against it. Very nice. Okay. Damn. I mean, I don't know, man. It's looking good for him this turn. I mean, but again, this is go format, so you never know. Oh man, pot. Perfect. This pot is probably going to win Paul the game, I'd imagine. Man, this is rough right here. So yeah, I would say just summon Kaiku, man, and what are you gonna do? Yeah, he can take the Sork out and then the Faith. Right. Sork out and a Thunder Dragon. I probably would have banished the Faith. But, you know, whatever. This is what I love about Spy right here. Watch this, y'all. Boom. Spy is just too fucking good. That's just the point of it, man. He's so good. It's not even funny. That ring is going to kill Sharuk though. And it's going to be game. This Paul. Wait, why didn't he? Okay, cool. I was like, I'm very confused. Okay, cool. That is game. All right. So Paul, aka Blue Version, is going on to round number 2, and very soon-ish we will have match number 4 of the 2021 YouTuber GOAT Format Championship up on the channel for you guys. So thank you guys again for watching, and feel free to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And congrats to Paul, aka Blue Version, and thanks to the Bando, aka Saruk, for being a part of this. And we'll see you guys next time.